working. This is just a template. So if you have this, you're on the right track already. Page 22. So 1 cm represents 0.2 km. On map, 1 cm, real life 0.2 km. Then the distance between them is 12 km in real life. Now this is a ratio. And we've always been saying that for ratios, you have to make sure that the units are the same. Okay, but that is only for the final answer. If your question is asking for final answer as a ratio. But in the intermediate steps, it's okay the units are different, as long as you write out the units. So for example, over here I've got 1 cm representing 0.2 km. Can you imagine if I didn't write in my units? Is it going to be very different now? Oh, originally it was 1 cm, which is a very small unit, represents 0.2 km, which is 200 meters. If I don't write down the units, then it becomes 1 cm represents a very tiny 0.2. Then this cannot make sense. So for this, please write down your units. Now the next part, find the distance on the map. If in real life, it is 12 kilometers. So 12 kilometers, I have to put it under actual. Change it to the same color. So here we've got 12 km in real life. So obviously we are now going to have to find out this value. So I show you one way, which is to write the map on the right hand side of the actual. So you can use the proportion wise to find out the value. And I was introduced to quite a number of you guys doing something different, which was this. So watch carefully, and it is correct. In fact, I think it is quite neat. So what you did was, from here to here, you multiply by a certain value. Do you know what value you have to multiply it by? Do you know what value you have to multiply it by? For me, I cannot do mental sums and say, oh, this one is multiplied by 60. I cannot. So I use my calculator. I take 12. What do you think I should do with the 12? Divide by 0.2. Divide by 0.2, and I get 60. So which means that, hey, I'm supposed to multiply by a number 60 over here. So if I have to multiply by 60 on the right hand side, what do I need to do on the left hand side? Likewise, multiply by 60. And then you get the answer, 1 cm times 60, and then you must make sure that your units are consistent. So we get 60 cm. Isn't that very neat and very fast? I think this is better. So the distance, so our answer, distance is 60 cm. So thank you to those when I was walking around, you show me this method. Very good. Okay, so next one. Okay, I've already gone through 6A. So moving on to the subsequent questions. A reminder, for this question, we are supposed to measure. So using our workbook, you need to take a ruler, go and measure the distance over here. So for part B, the distance on the map. This is our map over here. This is 4 centimeters from the cinema to the primary school. Okay? So we start off with writing the same template, map to actual, 1 cm to 3000 cm. This is the scale that is given to us. 1:3000. The units are not provided. You are free to choose what you want to choose. For me, because I know the distance on the map is 4 cm, I will choose to write 1 cm to 3000 cm. Doesn't make sense to write 1 meter to 3000 meters, because later on you need to convert again. What I require from the map is 4 cm. Use your ruler to measure it. So I will now convert from cm to meters. Why do I want to do that? Because the question said, give your answer in meters. You can choose to convert from the second step, or you can do everything out and then convert at the end. I prefer to convert in the middle, so that the numbers don't get too big. At the earliest opportunity, I will convert. So 3000 cm to meters, how much is that? 3000 cm to meters. Must call people, is it? 30. Huh? 30. Okay, correct, 30 meters. So 1 cm represents 30 meters. 1 cm on the map represents 30 meters in real life. The next one, I need 4 cm. So what do you think is the answer? without using your calculator, if you can. 120 meters. So the actual distance is 120 meters. Are you able to follow the steps? Now I need your participation. Can I have a show of hands? Okay, so again, we have to measure the distance between these two places. On our workbook, it is 1.5 cm. It is 1.5 cm. So we write down again the map and the actual 1 cm to 20,000 cm. Okay, I want to convert cm to meters because the question asks for the answer in meters. It is optional for you to convert at this point, but I prefer to do it so that I don't have very big numbers. So 20,000 cm, convert it to meters. How much do we have? Divide by 100. Or you can just remove the last two zeros. And our calculator tells us that the value is 200 meters. 1 cm now represents 200 meters in real life. It's a representation. And on the map now we've got 1.5 cm. What then is the actual distance in real life? So we draw the arrows again. What did we do to get from 1 cm to 1.5 cm? What did we multiply by? Multiply by 1.5. So if I multiply by 1.5 here, what must I do on this side? Same. Multiply by 1.5. So 200 times 1.5 gives us 300 meters. And that is our answer. Answer, or actual distance, 300 meters. For this one, I want you to try right now. I know that it is part of your homework. I'll resume now. 1 cm on the map, 500 meters in real life. Since it is shown to be 3.5 cm on our map, 500 divided by 1 times 3.5. Same thing, you get 1750 meters. Okay? So we can do the multiplication here times 3.5 times 3.5. Alternatively, some of you have remembered what I said. You take 500 divide by 1, then you multiply by 3.5. So your value will look like this, 500 over 1 times 3.5, which is still the same 1750 meters. And that is our final answer. No difference. Okay, I'll be showing you the working over here. I understand that some of you have done the work, your answer is correct, but you are not sure about presentation. So I'll show you presentation. I will be collecting your workbooks tomorrow. Okay, tomorrow. So everything should be done neatly already. So the scale, 1 to 5,000. It flew from Excel to tourist information, and then to hotel excellence. So there are two parts to the journey. Calculate total distance traveled. So we measure, they have 6 cm here and 4 cm here, total 10 cm. If 1 cm on the map represents 5,000 cm in real life, then the same 1 cm represents 50 meters in real life. A total of 10 cm must represent 500 meters. So the answer is total distance 500 meters. By measuring, find the scale. So same thing, we have our same template, map and actual. So use your ruler, go and measure. We will see that the distance here is 2.5 cm. So write it down, 2.5 cm. And the actual is 500 meters. In other earlier questions, we always have 1 is to something. 1 is to 10,000, 1 is to 5,000. Because that is a scale given to you already. Now we have the map and actual. We want to eventually write it such that it becomes, when we want to find a scale, it will look like this. 1 is to a certain value. Okay, scales always look like this. So at the moment, I've got 2.5 cm and 500 meters. I want to convert this to become 1. Sorry, over here. To become 1 cm. What should I do? How do I get from 2.5 cm to 1 cm? Divide by 2.5, thank you. 2.5. So over here, I also must divide by 2.5. 500 divided by 2.5. We get 200. Then I have a question, what are the units? 1 cm represents 200 what? Meters. It is still meters over here. I haven't done anything to the units yet. So we've got 200 meters. Then, because we want to find the scale of the map, that means our final answer is in a ratio. It must be 1 is to something. When the final answer is in ratio, must there be units? Cannot have units. If cannot have units, then the units must be the same. Do they currently have the same unit, 1 cm to 200 meters? No, what should we do? Which one do you want to change? You want to change the cm to meter or meter to cm? Thank you, you're making the right choices. Huh? So 1 cm is now representing 200. How many more zeros? 2 more cm. So since they have both the same units now, it is time to remove the units. So the answer is, okay, I'll write down the scale. Scale equals to 1 is to 20,000. On the map, 1 cm represents 200 meters. We got it earlier on in the previous question. And on the map, instead of just 2.5 cm, it becomes 4.5 cm. So if it is 4.5 cm over here, this will be 200 over 1 times 4.5 to give us same answer. 200 times 4.5, 900 meters. Distance is 900 meters. Okay? You want to break it down into different parts also can, as long as you add them up properly and you present properly. And then I told you to skip some pages. Now we are dealing with areas. A map drawn to scale 1 to 100,000. So when the question gives you the map scale, it is always in length. This part is for the length. Okay, please write it down in your workbook in the question. This is always for length. Alright, then make sure you have the same template, map versus actual. And you write down the length at the side. This is important. Moving on. After I've done the length scale, 1 cm to 100,000 cm, what should my next step be? You want to square it now? If you square it now, your number will become very big, no? Okay, we think one step ahead. We think one step ahead. Is it wrong? Is it wrong to find the area scale now? That means I square everything. Is it wrong? No. It is not wrong. It is okay. However, if you see that 100,000, if you square it, how many zeros will you get? Right now there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 zeros. You square how many zeros over here? You get 10. Another 5. So total 10 zeros. So you want to write how many zeros? You write. Then after that, how are you going to convert from cm square to km square? How? Divide by what? Cm square to km square. Not so simple, no? You have to divide by 1000 square. Then you have to divide by 100 square, then you divide by 1000 square. Very complex, very troublesome. So at this point, because my actual area is in km square, I want to convert to km first. It is easier. So write down 1 cm, convert your 10,000 cm to km. If you cannot do it in one step, don't worry, convert to meters first. 1000 meters. Right? Same thing. 100,000 cm is 1000 meters. Then now you convert to km. 1 km. This is a conversion to km. And I want to do that because the question is in square kilometers. So I make my big number become very small. Easier to work with. Then now we come to this on our board already. I have my scale in distance. I want to convert it to area. What is my area ratio now? 1 cm square, good. To how much? How many square kilometers? How many square kilometers? 1, just 1. 1 square kilometer. Easy. Right, we do have a lot of numbers already. Now, the actual area is 750 square kilometers. Then I need to find this value. How do I find that? Okay, correct. How do we find that? Times what? Times 720. So on the other side, we also must multiply by 750. Therefore, our answer is 750. What are the units? Cm square. So our answer is 750 cm square. I'm comparing length, right? In red, what am I comparing? In blue it is in length, in red it is area. Now, can I simply multiply by 24 to go from length to area? No, what must I always do to get to area? I always must square. So this step is wrong. You cannot have this. That is why our first step is to convert it to area. Okay, we want 300, we have our scale for length. Now for area, we've done so many of these already. 1 square centimeter. Now 12.5 square, I can't do it mentally. So we get 156.25 square kilometers. So this is for area. And we require an actual value of 300 square kilometers. So we want to find this unknown over here. At this point, you have your own way of doing it. You can get it correct, it's fine. But if you can't, then draw arrows to help you. What should I multiply this by? What should I multiply it by? 1 point what? 1.92. How do you know it's 1.92? 300 divided by 156.25. Then your calculator will tell you the answer. Oh, just times 1.92. So if you multiply by 1.92 on the right hand side, you obviously must do the same, times 1.92. And the units will take care of themselves. What is then our final answer? 1.92 units cm square. Answer 1.92 cm square. You're more confident of doing this type of question already? Oh, who say no? If not confident, what should you do? Watch the video lah.